All right, you live.
All right,
Some
and
water
where is
just fell.
that?
Okay, now chill. Let me see. Okay, chill. All right. Yo, yo. Okay.
Okay, we can spin that spin off. Um, is that one of the major issues in our communities? In our community regarding VLK people is envy and jealous. I heard something that was very interesting. I really thought about that. Uh, the guy said that you get the money from the white tea man and you get rich and you can't flex on him, so you have no choice but to flex on your people. And I got that concept, but you're not in an arena with people. Well, yeah, I guess others of that caliber. Hold on. Yeah, I really don't think anything needs to be constructed within the community. I think a lot of people got a grip on their core self and their spiritual or religious background or whatever faith they choose to go by. I think that's pretty much solid. But I think the community could be reconstructed on the outside. Adding more, I would like to see less liquor stores in the urban communities, less convenience stores. And it doesn't seem like they would go backwards because they already had community centers, a lot of parks and things like that, and they closed them down. So that was the purpose, is to bring in more storefront churches, more liquor stores, convenience stores, opening up more gas stations. And all these things is what the community communes off of: peace, love. Okay, high priestess is in the back. Make it mandatory for people to police their own community. Make it mandatory to be a part of a neighborhood watch. If you on food stamps or you don't work, because the community is basically non-existent. There's people you don't even know their names, that in urban communities you live next to them for 15 years and you don't even know your neighbor's name. I think education should be revamped as well. I know there was a big thing with the education systems, but I think bigger schools with more um, bringing back arts and skilled trades at an early age or at middle schoolers versus just technology and computer science and robotics, engineering. And the basic things that should be taught would be universal languages. Language would be a big part of it. You would have to learn multiple languages. That would just be a part of the curriculum because these are things that you don't have access to if you don't have the time or money. Now, Spanish and French, those are common in class, but I mean other language like Mandarin and Chinese language, things that they across the board, that would definitely be a mandatory because these are the things that the children will need to deal with in the future as far as trade and networking, especially with the social media era. I don't know how true it is, but the advancement of China and the kids in China and their school systems, they have like a railway system built in through their homes, like underneath the homes, and it stops underneath the home, and they just go down into a little thing and get into the subway system and go. It's pretty advanced. The things that they learn at an early age, we can be taught here. American children can be taught at an early age.
I think Queen trying to come up for you. Queen at the back door. Hello, Queen. I see fire. He's still experimenting with the app.
Peace and love, everybody. Is it working?
Yes, yes it is.
Peace. How
Okay.
you doing?
Make sure you edit your picture, Queen, too. You could click on. Oh, you got it. Okay. Yep. I like it.
I didn't know my iPad was
Peace,
working.
Queen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
You on your iPad, Queen? Because if you're on your iPad, you could do more. You can. pull up your pictures and everything.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the
Mhm.
reason it took me so long to get here was because I thought I was supposed to be using my Dell computer, but that thing's like a decade old. I I kind of forgot I had it. And
Mhm.
it wasn't recognizing my Wi-Fi, so I was like, well,
Mm.
let me just try my iPad just in case. And it worked.
Mhm.
How's everybody doing?
Good. We just figuring out this stuff and everything, so we ain't really too much up and running.
Okay. Now, Chosen, I heard you talking about what they got going on in Asia, and I thought that was really cool. That are you saying under their house is a railway system?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's cool.
Yes, like I don't know how true and real it was, but oh man.
So they don't have to have cars there if they don't want to, I guess. If it's like that, I mean, I'm sure in certain areas it's more rural, but if you're living in a city area, I guess it's kind of like New York, right? I mean, it's not right under your house, but I kind of like how they have transportation up north a lot easier. A lot of people don't even get cars for that reason. And here in the South, we hardly have a bus system that travels far enough for people that are in rural areas.
Mm,
You know, like if you live in the inner city, like if you live in the capital, there's buses, but if you live a little bit outside of the capital, like 15 minutes out, they don't have any buses or anything except for if you go to public school or something like that.
mm. Oh yeah, in the rural areas.
Yeah, I live like 20 minutes outside of the city, so there's not any buses here, so you definitely have to have a car. My siblings, in their area, they have. We're back. I'm back from Baltimore, so they have the railway and stuff like that they can use, and it's really convenient.
I'm trying to see if I could find it somehow. Just see if it'll come up.
I enjoyed listening to you guys last night about all this Epstein file stuff. I'm really interested in it.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Oh yeah,
It really
definitely.
is disturbing. And
Well, I'd like to know the truth about some of these celebrities that are going out of the country. If it just means like, what is that called, hun? When it's like you like summon someone to the court. I wonder if they can still do that if you're out of the country.
What, like a subpoena?
Yeah, since you're a US citizen, you would think they could
Mhm.
subpoena you and not have to hunt you. They shouldn't have to send a bounty hunter. And plus, these are public figures, so
Mhm.
I'm sure even if they do live in other countries, people know where they live. And so it would seem like they could send a subpoena to say, hey, we want to at least question you. Because a lot of them, like I said, Ellen last night, running with her wife to Europe. I
oh,
mean,
I found it.
you found it?
Yeah, I found it. Oh, I could show you. I wonder. Yeah, I think I could cam up and show you. Oh, how do I flip it? Hold on.
Do you find it's easier to use StreamYard?
Well, I mean, once you know how to work it, yeah, it's hard. Once you learn how to work any of these, they easy. You just gotta play with the buttons and see what everything does. Okay,
We can't see that. You gotta get you a tablet, chosen. You
can you
got a
see it
tablet
now?
so you can share your
No,
screen on here.
Oh, you
I
can
can't
share
see it.
screen?
Yeah, it's a plus sign say presentation. You can share your screen when you hit that. You don't have to
Oh,
do what Chosen doing. She using the mobile app version.
oh, I didn't
Okay.
know. I didn't know you could use the mobile app.
Can you see it though?
So
Nah.
what is that on the ground, hun? That's the railway?
Yes, that's the
So it's
that strip.
inside?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. Now that's something different. It doesn't look like a raggedy subway. Whoa, that's really cool.
Okay. And that it comes and it's in the house. Wait, dang, what
Stop.
is
I have
open?
never heard of anything like that.
You see that little railway? That's the little subway.
How do you get in there though? I don't understand.
It's a little hole that they
Oh, stop it. So no
go
plus size.
down.
No plus size. I'm guessing because that is crazy. And it looks like you have to hop in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that, hon. I mean, it sounds good, but it looks kind of crazy.
Yes.
That's wild. I wonder if that's the same thing as remember I don't know if you've ever seen where they have the carts that the little trains there in Asia that are kind of like in the air looking. That might be about it.
Hold on. Oh my bad.
Sunwater, did you get your doctorate? Let's see, Dr. Sunwater. Oh, stop. It comes up. No, is this AI? That looks crazy. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So they have a underground tunnel that pulls up. Something shoots out that hole.
I
A
saw it.
little.
I
Yes.
saw it. I was shocked. I really was because I was like, is this AI? That's crazy.
Mm. I guess that's for the rich and famous, you know.
Hmm. It kind of just shows you what's possible here, though. I
Say it
mean, because
again.
it kind of just shows you what's possible here, though, because they have a lot more advanced technology in Asia. You know, Japan and places like that are like tech hubs. Um, and I wonder why we haven't been as advanced in technology as some of these other places, especially when we have these people like what's that guy? We're so famous, I would think, for some of the people. I know Jobs is gone, but we have some other big tech guys. What's that Tesla guy
Mm-hmm.
that you would think we would be competitive because what honestly chosen what are we competitive for if everybody else is making the cars, if we're getting all our food from other places, if we're not tech savvy, like we need a thing. Our country does.
Hmm.
We don't have like a specialty like a lot of these other countries do, and I wonder why we haven't focused more on that.
Well, our specialty would be the right to bear arms,
Oh god.
and freedom of expression, and we're the home of the brave, land of the free.
We're brave because we
So,
run our mouth.
right, we're where you have a liberation to, I think, religious freedom, and um
No, it
just
is.
without
You're right.
cultural rules and norms. I think that's what our specialty is.
I do love that about us, though. I love that, I don't like all the division happening right now. This otherism, neighbors calling on neighbors, and then it's like, I'm a citizen. Can you get away from me? I don't like the division right now that's happening, but for the most part, even even the white people here, they're from Ireland, they're from Poland. It may not be, they may be third or fourth generation, but you know, all of us are from different places. So
It's
it does add a lot of different culture. But I don't know. I feel like places over in Europe though, it's interesting because you go like here you drive state to state, there's not much difference, but besides like an accent. But other places you go the distance and you're in a whole different, they speak different languages, they have different cultures. I think that's interesting too.
Peace.
Peace, Fire. How's your evening going?
Mm.
I was able to use my laptop to, or not my laptop, my iPad to get on here, Fire. I didn't know that.
you said what was interesting about Europe?
I said it was interesting how here we go state to state. And of course, people from here are fourth and fifth generation Irish and Polish and there we have African, Mexican, Puerto Rican. But when you go state to state here for the most part, it's there's not much difference besides an accent. But I think it's interesting how in other places you drive the same distance and it's a whole different language, a whole different culture, whether it's Asia or Europe or Africa. I think it's really interesting how it's like culture shock if you go quote unquote state to state there, as where America is more like accent. So I do think it would be interesting to travel to some of those places.
Where would be the first place you'd go?
I really want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Hawaii really bad. I want to go to Australia really bad. I want to go to Africa really bad. I want to go to um, maybe Switzerland and Amsterdam. I want to go to Alaska. There's so many places. I want to go everywhere. Um, I want to say that I lived. We have a whole planet, and I want to be able to say that I lived because there's so much more than here where accents change. Although I do love America for us being the melting pot that we are. Um, I think that you can learn anything. I mean, you can learn from a baby. So why couldn't you learn from seeing how other people live besides us? How about you? Where would you travel to if you could go anywhere?
Some Me somewhere in Africa.
Yeah, I definitely, that is on my top three for sure. My brother, he's dating um right now, and a few of the women that he's talking to are in Africa because he wants to start a business there and be like a dual citizen between here and Africa. So if he goes out there, I will be visiting.
You heard chosen? She fell. It was someone fell off.
What you guys been debating about so far, Fire?
We just got started over here, so we're just trying to build a platform. However, so we get it built up. That's what we up to.
Oh, you haven't been on this platform long yet?
Now this like my second or third day.
Nice.
Mhm. I just been
Well,
reading the rules, stuff like that, the cursing, the this, all that. I just been checking out those rules, but they don't got no rule on cursing really, just racial slurs from what I see.
understandable. I'm not sure. I think they probably have no smoking rules, but I'm not sure. I
I can
know.
do that with the camera.
Yeah. I know I said that just because of TikTok, though. They have those kind of rules are there. But, you're used to that for Bigo. So,
Over here you can smoke though.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do all type of shit in the camera.
Did some water get her doctorate fire and I missed it?
I think she got a master.
Good for her.
Ain't the doctorate after the master?
Yeah.
Mm.
And you can get, like, when I go to the doctor, I go to a DO. So instead of a DR, he has a DO. And that means that you're more on the homeopathic side, where you recommend more natural things instead of medicines. That's what I did. I switched from a pain clinic to a DO where they wouldn't focus on um they would focus more on coping skills instead of medicine, or recommending natural things instead of medicine. Because if you try to go to a homeopathic doctor, insurance doesn't pay that in America, which is terrible. But they want their pharmaceutical companies to make money. So insurance doesn't pay that. But yeah, I like DOs. I think some water would be great with that.
I got to okay, we got a guest coming to watch. Okay. So yeah, that the sharing, you got to get that sharing out there. And I'm gonna post the y'all supposed to share it. I mean, you know where the share is, right?
No, hon, tell me how to do it from my screen.
Okay, you go to oh
I know you're trying to get used to it just like me. Okay, so I see settings, right?
the okay settings. No, not settings.
Let's see.
No, you can't do it from here.
Wait, I don't know if it's gonna make me leave or not, so I don't want to press it. It's an arrow at the end. Is that the
No,
share?
no, that's to leave out of here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm. Okay, well you can't share it from in here.
What do we use another device and go to YouTube, like as if
Yeah.
we're a guest and share from there? We could do
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
That'll be easy.
Yeah, I think it's best to share from your phone.
Yeah, me too. Have you guys heard about that broadcaster? She's I don't know, she's supposed to be a famous broadcaster on our news, and her mother was kidnapped.
Whoa, Vicky.
No, I'm the newscaster. She's like a famous newscaster here in America, and all over the news they have a manhunt because somebody kidnapped her mother and they demanded ransom for her mother. And then the newscaster put on national news, our family will pay you to get my mother back. Her mom's like 80 years old and disabled. And
Wow.
and they never heard back from the captors again, which is kind of scary because if they had her and she was living, they would get that money, right? I mean, that's what they wanted. So
Mm.
so
I
how
don't really
come
watch the news, so I don't get any of these.
I only heard about it from my mom because my mom is so concerned because she's been, you see the same newscasters for 10, 20 years or whatever. And this lady, her a masked man stole her mother and disappeared and said that he wanted ransom. He wrote like a ransom note to the newscaster facility. And then when they put out the news and said, "We'll pay you a lot of money to get my mother back," and they were never heard from again. Like they didn't come collect the money, they didn't bring her mom back. And now there's a manhunt right now on the national news for her mom. It doesn't look good because if they had her, they would give the money. I feel like something accidentally might have happened to her. That's
Mm.
crazy. That's crazy.
Mm.
Because they don't even know who to ask, like who to arrest, because they don't know who took her.
Yeah, I don't. Hmm.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy to pick somebody that's kind of famous to go after their mom because they're going to be looking.
Okay, so let's take a dive into the story and let's see what it
Yes.
says.
Please see what's going on because I didn't, all I saw was the live manhunt before I got on here.
The mother of NBC News today, NBC News Today anchor Savannah Guthrie, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, was reportedly kidnapped from her home in Tucson, Arizona, and has been missing since January 31st in 2026. Authorities are investigating her disappearance as a crime and have released images of a masked armed individual who appeared to tamper with surveillance cameras at her home. Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her home on the evening of Saturday, January 31st, and reported missing the next day after she did not attend church. Investigation, the Pima County Sheriff's Office and the FBI are investigating the case as a kidnapping. Evidence, including some of Nancy Guthrie's blood, was found at the scene, indicating she did not leave willingly. There are some health concerns because Nancy Guthrie has fragile health, lives in constant pain, and requires daily medication to survive, making her disappearance an urgent concern for authorities and her family. There was a ransom note. Unverified ransom notes demanding millions in Bitcoin have been sent to media outlets and authorities, leading the Guthrie family to publicly signal their willingness to pay for her safe return. There is the suspect information. As of February 10th, 2026, no suspects or person of interest have been identified, though the FBI has released new images of an individual they want to identify. Wait, let's read that one again. As of February 10th, 2026, no suspects or person of interest have been identified. Okay, nobody's been identified, though the FBI has released new images of an individual that they want to identify. Okay, so somebody was in the area and they might have a picture of a cam and they want to see who this person is.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, because they saw him walking up to her camera to disable it, but he was masked. So they're trying to identify who this masked person was. But here's the problem: she was on heart pills every day for her pacemaker, and they're concerned because obviously they didn't tell her to pack her heart pills. And that's not funny. But
Why you laugh?
but it's like it's kind of like what the heck? Like, so nobody really knows what's happened to her, but the fact that there's blood isn't a good sign.
I
And the
thought they
fact that
said the brother-in-law is a suspect.
stop.
Yeah, I read the up-to-date stuff on it. It says the brother-in-law that's the suspect. That probably got to get more look that up. Yeah, the brother-in-law.
Well, you got to be stupid to be part of the family and do it as if you're not going to get caught. That's crazy. But
Oh
it
wow.
makes sense though, because why would a stranger just do it out of nowhere? It has to be somebody connected.
Inside scoop, but Charles, we was talking about this last night. Money and greed. That's what I'm saying. It's money.
Millions in Bitcoin. They
Yeah.
must be trying
Yeah,
to
so
leave the
look like
country.
she should have just gave them that loan.
For real, for real. If you were struggling like that, you need to speak up.
I told you, Charles, let's get real, boy. That people seeing people eating with this money. People hungry. Family members, in-laws, they feel entitled. Remember we was just talking about this last night.
Hmm.
No, I
I
heard
told
you
you.
guys talk about the gorilla situation, and
Yes, man, that's a huge topic. Like I love to hear people input about that because that stuff be real.
okay, well, I watched a video today of Glorilla calling her mother and father separately and asking them, "What do you feel about my fame?" And they were like, "Well, you take care of us. You always send us money. You always, if we want a house, we can get it. If we want this, shoot." And her mom was like, "The only reason I don't want a house is because I don't want to have to take care of it. So you just pay for what I want you to pay for, and you give me money every, week or whatever, and you take care of me. It's just, she just doesn't take care of her 10 siblings." And it's like, y'all can't be mad she's taking care of her parents and not you. I don't I don't think
Right.
that
And it shows signs too that she wasn't messing with her sister because she wasn't even invited to her concerts. And Gorilla had to sneak to see her mama in hotels and didn't want to come to the house. Her mama told her, don't come to the house where the family is at. She was sneaking seeing her mama in the hotels because her own family, the mama know that the own family wasn't no good. Like family will mask up on you. Like for real. They don't care.
and as we can see from
And
the
set
news
you up.
reporter, as we can see from the
Yes.
news reporter that the brother-in-law or the husband-in-law, whoever this is, would do the same thing. Maybe he saw Glorilla's story and he was like, "I better jump on it." I don't know, but people are crazy.
Hmm. I mean, she's a public figure. You didn't have security.
I mean, I'm sure she did, but for the mere fact that even the mom would say, "I understand why you meet me privately because your siblings are no good." That's not a good sign.
Yeah, her mama literally said that.
I would listen to my
Like,
mom.
yes.
I
When
would
your
listen.
own mama tell you don't come to the house where all the cousins at and the bros, you better listen.
I better listen. Exactly.
Because the
And
thing is, like, we don't even know the people that's hanging around her siblings, they can they can be setting using the sister to get to Gorilla and
well,
rob her.
and think about it this way. If you come every Sunday to see your mom and give her money, people will take that as, "Oh, we know she's there every Sunday so we can plan something," you know?
Yeah. And I got an aunt too. She don't want no house. She wanted the condo. Some people that's single, getting older, they don't want the responsibility of cutting grass, pulling weeds, shoveling driveways of snow. You just want to be comfortable in a nice townhouse or whatever. So people
That's
think you gotta
yep.
always buy your mama these big houses.
They don't want
Uh,
them.
they don't want that.
My
That's a
mom
huge responsibility.
my mom has lived in the same neighborhood for 20 some years, and she just switched about 5 years ago. She switched from a upstairs downstairs to a ranch style, and she said, "I want to stay in a townhouse cuz I don't want to be in charge of my grass. I'm almost 70 years old. and it's understandable.
Yep, because I do the same thing.
Mhm.
Flat
It's,
level.
it's one thing when you're in your 40s or even 50s, but once you're close to 70 years old, you're not trying to worry about stuff like that. And like you said, some people even want a condo.
Mm-hmm. I'm at work. That's why I really can't talk too long.
Oh, you're fine, Sunwater. I was telling Fire you would probably be good at a DO position, Sunwater. What do you think about DOs? The homeopathic.
Yeah, hold on real quick.
Okay, hon.
Sit down. Sit. Okay, where we at? What was y'all talking about?
Well, I don't know if you were here while we were talking about I think you were here when we were talking about Glorilla and how that situation, how greed has really taken over. Talking about like the newscaster and Glorilla's siblings, although her parents say they're very well taken care of, um, her siblings still feel entitled. But like Sunwater said, her own mother said don't come to the house because she don't want her to get set up from her cousins and siblings and stuff like that. And when your mom says that, you need to listen.
What kind of person are you though that you had to have somebody set you up?
Well, she would, I guess the mother knows how the cousins are and how they get down and how they do set people up apparently, and her mom doesn't want her to be in that position, so her mom meets her at hotels.
Wow.
Her mom said don't come to the house, it's too dangerous.
Mm.
And when your mom says that, you need to listen.
I think that would change. That changes the narrative for Glorilla now. She done lost some cool points. I think this might damage her reputation and credibility a little bit.
Well, she had a live recording of her mom and dad on the phone with her, and they said they're very well taken care of. And
Yeah, I heard her. I heard the father. I
yeah,
didn't see the mother one yet.
the mother was the one that said, "Don't come here. Keep meeting me away from the house because you know how your cousins are." And I just feel like she's doing what her mom's telling her to do.
Well, she could have had him say that just to clean up her reputation. She could have. They could have organized that to be said because he just now coming out to say it. And you get along with the parents, but not the children. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not one to believe the hype bah, on them because it to me it's not logical. Now, but that I think what it does do is it does damage her reputation for all the people who might have looked up to her, the young, you know, kids and youth who looked up to her that might have damaged her reputation with them because they not understanding the concept now of the dynamics of the relationship. They just seeing it that oh, Glorilla just not trying to share the wealth, and she's got problems with the family. You know that she's not a good like that ties into a lot because I
Hmm.
wouldn't look at it the same now. Where did I put my eye?
Yeah, it's hard to say because families can be so complicated. Especially, didn't they said she had like 10 siblings? That's a lot of people.
And then why aren't the parents? If she blesses the parents, why don't the parents give to the children?
Well, that's another story, chosen. I mean, why I would ask why because her mother said, well, I know you always give me my allowance and you always make sure I have wherever I want to stay. She tried to buy her mom a house and her mom said, I don't want it. I don't want to have to take care of all that. And that's what her mom said. She said, I don't want to have to take care of all that at my age. And the father said, yeah, you take care of me, I can't complain. So I don't know. I don't think you're
So we're
required to
saying
take.
as long as you take care of your mother and father, nobody else really matters.
I mean, I think you should do the best to take care of your parents. I never really thought about the siblings. I would think if you're taking care of your parents, you're doing the best that you can. And then if they want to give to whoever they want, because she gives them whatever they want. So if they want to give, it's kind of like you said, why aren't the parents giving the siblings stuff? They don't seem to trust them either. I don't know why.
I would just save face and just give them a little money. And then you can't say I didn't do nothing for you. Because each one of her songs, I'm sure her family helped shape her to have the experience to be able to have the creative artistic ability. What's
Well, that's
wrong? Why
true.
is she not
That's true.
taking a picture? Okay. Now that has to go into whether or not, if we got along and I got rich, should I should we be obligated to still, so that should tell everybody, you never know who's gonna hit the lotto. So, try to have good relationships with your family and all. Cause they might just hit the lottery. You might not get nothing because you didn't treat me right.
Well, it's like with my brother, he makes the most in the family, and I tell him, you never have to feel obligated to help people because they never pay you back, and you loan and you loan and you loan. And then before you know it, they're back for another loan, and nobody considers that you worked so hard for what you have. It's not like it's free money. And I understand why my brother has kind of put his guard up.
Owen. Man, internet stuff is so tricky. I need a file just where I just took pictures at. Come on. Okay, there we go.
Yo, yo, peace.
Peace.
Like I say, once I get this screen share down pack, I'll be able to go more in depth on things like that, sharing the screen, going to newspaper articles, things like that, sharing daily news. Um, you know, different things of that nature. And like I say, I have like a brand new laptop here, so getting accustomed to using it. Hmm. Okay. Want to see how this look on the screen. Hold on.
What you got, Fire?
It's the book of knowing the evolutions of Ra and of overthrowing Apep.
Mm-hmm.
These are the words which the god Nebuchadnezzar
Nebuchadnezzar
spake
spake after he had come
after.
into being.
Okay.
I am he who came into being in the form of the god Kepra, and I am the creator of that which came into being. That is to say, I am the creator of everything which came into being. Now, the things which I created and which came forth out of my month after that I had come into being myself were exceedingly many. The sky or heaven had not come into being, the earth did not exist, and the children of the earth and the creeping things had not been made at that time. I myself raised them up from out of new, from a state of helpless interness. I don't know that word. I found no place whereon I could stand, and I worked a charm upon my own heart or will. I laid the foundation of things by my art, and I made everything which had form. I was then one by myself, for I had not emitted from myself the god Shu, and I had not spit out from myself the goddess Tefnut, and therefore and there existed no other could work with me. I laid the foundations of things in my own heart, and there came into being multitudes of created things, which came into being from the created things, which were born from the created things, from arose. From what they brought forth, I had union with my closed hand, and I embraced my shadow as a wife. Wait, where am I? I lost my place, hon.
Who was you at?
I was at shadow as my wife. The time when they departed from me, from being one God, I became three gods, and I came into being in the earth. Then Shu and Tefnut rejoiced from out of the inert watery mass wherein I were, and they brought to me my eye, the sun. Now after these things I gathered together my members, and I wept over them. And men and women sprang into being from the tears which came forth from my eye. And when my eye came to me and found that I had made another eye and place where it was, the moon, it was wroth with or raged at me, whereupon I endowed it, the second eye, with some of the splendor which I had made for the first eye. And I made it to occupy its place in my face, and henceforth it ruled throughout all this earth. When there fell on them their moment through plant like clouds, I restored what had been taken away from them, and I appeared from out of the plant like clouds. I created creeping things out of every kind and everything which came into being from them. Shu and Tefnut brought forth Seb and Nut, and Seb and Nut brought forth Osiris and Heru Kent and Mate and Set and Isis and Nephthys, and one birth, one after the other, and they produced their multitudinous offspring in this earth. Kepru, the verb keper, means to make, to form, to produce, to become, and to roll. Kepru here means the things which come into being through the rollings of the ball of the god Keper, the roller, i.e., the sun. Serpents and snakes are perhaps plants. The primeval waters mass which were the source and origin of all things, all beings and things. He uttered a magical formula. By exact and definite rules, the period of calamity wherein their light was veiled through plant-like clouds, the blind Horus. These five gods were all born at one time. The Book of
Hold on,
Knowing, the
hold on
evolution
one second.
of Ra, and the overthrowing Apep. These are the words of the god Neb or Techer, who said, I am the creator of what hath come into being, and I myself came into being under the form of the god Khepera, and I came into being in primeval time. I came into being in the form of Khepera, and I am the creator of what did come into being. That is to say, I formed myself out of the primeval matter, and I made and formed myself out of the substance which existed in primeval time. My name is Osiris, which is the primeval matter of primeval matter. Who is the primeval matter of primeval matter? What do you think about that, Fire?
No, no, I'm gonna read it again. uh, it definitely sounds like a great read. What you think about it, Josie?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Say what?
it says Ra. Capri was often considered an aspect or manifestation of the sun god Ra, specifically representing the morning sun, while Ra was the midday sun and Atum was the evening sun. Atum, similar to Ra, Capri was often merged with Atum,
What you reading
as a
now?
creator deity representing different phases of the sun's cycle. Osiris, due to his role in representing rebirth, Khepri was sometimes linked to Osiris, the god of the dead and resurrection. Khepri is generally depicted as a scarab beetle or a human male with a scarab beetle as a head, symbolizing the self created, self renewing nature of the sun. So he represents the rising sun, creation, and renewal.
What what was that? The creation story B? Which one was that? Which one was you reading just then? Yo,
Hmm.
I really like the information on the Ankh. I prefer the Ankh because it's male and female aspect of creation
We can read
instead
about
of
it.
the cross,
Give
which
me
is
just one
masculine,
second.
masculine. It makes no sense.
Give me one
I don't
second.
know
We can read
why
about it.
that was chosen over an Ankh, which represents the well, obviously the female vagina, the ovaries, and then the bottom is the masculine, the phallus. So I like that the Ankh represents creation of life. That's why I love my Ankh.
Mm.
You good,
Mm.
chosen?
Yeah, I'm filling out something on the
Okay.
internet.
You heard the creation story we just read, right?
Yeah, I that they were all five created at once. Yeah.
We'll go back into it. Give me one second.
Are you guys talking and I just can't hear it? I hear your little bubbles moving, but or I see it, but I don't hear anything.
You can't hear us? You can hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can't hear you. Hold on, I'm gonna have to leave and come back. Okay. So what did you say? Well, or did you say anything in response to the Unk? What do you guys feel about that?
Um. hmm.
I gotta do more research. I'm gonna find a papyri or something to read about it. Give me one second.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like logical by its shape, but
Hmm.
um, what are the two arms that stick out? What are those?
Those are the ovaries.
So
So the
what's the
bot
middle part?
so the top is the woman's vagina and ovaries, and the bottom is the male penis. So the
Yeah, okay. It's like a cross. The two arms that stick out like a cross.
those are the ovaries, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the top is okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's supposed to represent the creation of life with male and female. And then the cross is like, okay, so it's two penises? What's the symbolism? Although I do like the quote, like, bear your own cross. I love that. I love, pick up your own cross and, whatever struggles you have, overcome them. I love that part about the cross, but I love the Ankh more because it does represent the way the Most High wanted it to be, in my opinion, which is the creation story. Represents, to me, it represents the Most High, the creation story between male and female. And it also represents everlasting life because it has the male and female together for creation. And if you think about it, the cross represents death because it's like, well, this is what killed Yeshua. And that's like, dang, that's kind of sad. Because if I were Yeshua and I came down and everybody had my death instrument around their neck, I would be a little offended. But it's like, we're wearing the murder weapon. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
That was a good one though.
No, for
That was
real.
a
We're
good one.
wearing them. No, for real though. It's honest. It's like we're wearing the murder weapon. It's like, oh, those are not my friends. Here they come again. Mm-mm. When it's like the unc's like, okay, here's the creation story. Here's what created you. Here's what created me. I like it. So it's just preference. My mom wears a cross. I wear an unk. We understand each other. It's all good. I did share the live from my phone though. It only allowed me to share to Facebook unless I wanted to personally share it to people.
Oh, come on. Oh, man, internet. All these links and
I got a quick question. Is Eve the only mother? Is Eve the mother of all mothers? Is she the mother of all living things, of all mothers? Who is this woman?
Well, wouldn't you be referring to, let's think about it. Because when I think of mother, I think of Osset. And then we watered down Osset to Isis. And then we watered down Isis to Virgin Mary. But I get what you're saying. Like Eve was first in that story. So,
Well,
I'm saying she
if
ain't first.
if the eggs are within the first woman, then that's all of the life. She had all of life in her, so she would be the mother. If this is um, this woman that was made from Adam's rib, she would be the mother of all living because those eggs just pass down from one to another. Or do they have their own separate eggs?
that was really
Or
cute.
do they develop their own eggs?
That was cute. Or do they have their own eggs? I don't know. Good question.
Well, if it says she's the mother of all living, that would mean that she passed down. She had all the eggs in her. Then once she had a daughter, then she had the eggs, and then that daughter passed the eggs and passed and so forth.
Hmm.
Because if those eggs made it to term and to become an existence, then that would be the mother of all living. But when it says that, my question uh, is that only including humans? Because what does it mean, all living? Does that include animals as well? Because what is that to say about the animals and the plants?
Well, right now
Because if she's
I'm trying to look up because I know who Adam is in Egyptology. That's a tomb. And Adam Ra is like supposed to be when Adam meets Ra. So Adam Ra is like Adam and God together. Like you're a piece of God. But before it was just Adam by a tomb by himself, and then they added Adam Ra, because he was one with God. But as far as far as Eve, I'm trying to figure out how Eve comes into Egyptology. See, it says the story of Adam and Eve, as mentioned by the Torah, is present in ancient Egypt, but with different names. Adam is called Atum, and he is the first creation. I guess because a male has sperm to give life, but what a woman has to create the life. What's going on?
um that's a stretch to say that. Um yeah, I ain't gonna say that. That would be a big, big stretch.
Which part?
It did say that Adam was male, right?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically.
Mm-hmm. But in Egyptology, a tomb, which is Adam, is the first divine being.
I'd have to look up some stuff. I can't right now.
Adam and Eve in ancient Egypt mythology. It might be new to your ears to hear that Adam and Eve existed in ancient Egyptian mythology. In most known religions, Adam is the first human, and some scholars classify him as the first sane human being. Oh, not the first sane. The story of Adam and Eve, as mentioned by the Torah, is present in ancient Egypt, but with different names. Adam is called Atum, and he is the first creation. The ancient Egyptians believed that Atum created himself by himself, and then created air, Shu, and water, Tefnut, and then created heaven, Nut, and earth, Jeb, who gave birth to four people named Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys. Okay, there you go. Oh, this is why. Okay, this makes more sense. So, from what we have in the hieroglyphs, he did have a counterpart deity in the upper kingdom, but time has obscured that deity's identity. Okay. It's also more common in Egyptology to have priestesses instead of priests.
The fact that it's called evening,
Evening.
the morning, evening, and the night.
I don't like using morning because I feel like a lot of the English language was broken down into small curses. So if you're saying Have a good morning. Have a good morning. I feel like it's like you sending out curses to people because there's nothing happy about morning. There is something happy about risings. I also don't like blessings because it's be lessing. I'm never going to be less you. I want to, you know, uplift you, but I never want to be less you. So I like the term bliss. Bliss you. Bliss you up, but not be less you. And I told you the same thing about be lack the other day. A lot of these English words were intentionally set as daily curses that I feel like we need to break the chains of. So I've been trying to train my brain to unlearn what I've been taught my whole life because now when you were over on Bigo, you talked to Uncle Eddie, right?
Uh-huh.
He's the first person that taught me about the importance of these words and breaking them down to their meaning and realizing this, but I just thought he was talking until I did my own research and I did realize that he was right. I wish I could tell him that now. Um, if I see him again, I'm going to thank him because now I see what he means about word curses, which can be anything from gossip or they can be you not understanding the words you're not breaking down and just out of habit because that's how we were raised. And so I don't see anything wrong with night or evening, but morning definitely. And I'm finding out more and more with like spiritual advisors I work with that know how all this works, about the importance of our usage of the words that we train our subconscious to hear. Because we just do it out of habit, like I said, because we're so used to it. And just because you're used to something doesn't mean it's positive. It just means we didn't know.
One of my favorite ones, people to make people aware of is one such as I can't wait. You're telling yourself, I can't wait. So every time you say, I can't wait until I get me a car, I can't wait until this shift is over. You'll do all the
You'll
things.
always be waiting or feeling like waiting, right? Because you can't.
Now, you'll do all the things to stop you from waiting. You'll do other things where if you had a waited, it
Like,
would have
oh,
came
okay. Yeah.
faster. But when
Right.
you
It's
say, I can't
patience.
wait, you're not going to wait. You're going to do other things to distract you from doing the steps to your
The work
plan.
that you need to do. So you're saying like you lack the fortitude to manifest because to manifest you need to be patient, one, and if you can't wait, you're not patient. And also, if you want to manifest something, you get your life prepared for it as if it's already here, as if the Most High already gave it to you. So you're going to be getting things in order. And you're saying you're not even doing that because you want to be distracted because you have no patience. That makes sense. And I never thought of that one. That's bad for manifesting what you want in life. That's kind of
But
like, like
old
when
school starters,
Mhm.
can't is not a word. Ain't is not a word. So we grew up with that teaching that we don't say you can't
Mhm.
because you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Right. And you're training your subconscious to think, why even try? I can't. I already
Yeah.
said I can't. That's so true. And another thing is always being like, and I don't even like saying this, but I'm gonna say this for an example, Most High. I'm not putting this out in the universe, but saying like, oh, I'm broke. I'm always broke. It's like, oh, okay. Is that what you're manifesting? Because you're just saying it out loud. You're putting out there for, your angels and your guides that the Most High sent to you to. Because to me, the way guides work is like, have you ever had a situation where you're like, I should get up and close. I'm not gonna open this window tonight. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna open it. Or I need to get up and turn that candle warmer off. Nah, I don't feel like it. Those were your guides telling you, like trying to prevent maybe a fire or prevent something from happening that you're unaware of. Like, I feel like that's your grandmother looking over you, being like, no, you get up. And so now, when I have the feeling of like, I'm not going to open this window tonight. I don't know why. I don't feel comfortable. I listen to those things. Or if I feel like I should unplug something, like, or get up and turn the candle warmer off, I do that because I'm like, I don't know if that's my grandmother telling me that or if I'm paranoid, but I'd rather do it than not do it and regret it later. Like if I,
Well, something in your subconscious has seen something of the other that has said that leaving candle warmers on will possibly catch a fire. So
yeah, but
that is just your memory bank stored in your subconscious. When it's needed, it pops out because the candle holder brings back the image that was in your head
I
before.
totally agree with you, hon. I totally do. But what I'm saying is like if it's a habit, like if I always open that window in the evening, but suddenly when I go to open it, I'm like, I don't like there's something that tells me not to. I pay attention. I feel like that's your guides, that's your angels. It might be Archangel Michael, might, I feel like I should pay attention to those gut nudges cuz that's your intuition. Your intuition is your gut. And if your gut tells you that you leave that candle warmer on every night but you need to get up and turn it off tonight, I think you should always listen. Like I feel like that's the most high sending one of your protectors to be like, no, you need to get up and don't just be lazy and say, nah, forget about it. It'll be fine. Like, if I want to go check the door because I have a nudge to check the door and make sure it's locked, I will listen to that because it's not like it happens every night. But if it happens one night, I'll be like, nah, just go make sure. And then if it is, you won't regret it, right? Because everything's cool. But I don't know. I just feel like I get what you're saying about your subconscious because you relate fires with stuff like that. But I think that if it's something you normally do and you have that gut, you should always listen. I feel like that's your protection kicking in. That's how I feel that guides speak to us is those little subconscious thoughts that tell you, don't go down that road, and you don't even know why, but you're like, I'm gonna keep going because my great grandma, she must see something I don't. Most high sinner. That's how my guides work for me.
I don't really tend to believe in things I can't see.
Mm,
I don't tend to believe things are there that I can't see. I don't believe in I do believe the dead knows nothing.
I
I
got you.
personally haven't had an experience, not to say anybody else can't, but I feel like if I haven't experienced it, it's not there.
No, I
Not
understand that.
to
That's
say.
totally understandable. That's totally understandable. Yeah.
But I don't tend to believe in alternate things that are like I don't know their spirit guides, or if so, it's in a realm where you don't have any conscious of, you don't know anything about it.
Interesting.
Like
Now, have you ever seen, because I'm 37, but everybody else in my family has passed for the most part because they were a lot. I was the baby, so everybody else was like 30, 40 years older than me, besides like my brother who's like 12 years older than me. So whenever I would see them on hospice, what do you think about how, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone on hospice, but whenever I would see, like when I saw my grandmother on hospice at the end, she um she would be talking to my uncle and she would be talking, which is her son, and she would be talking to her husband, which was my grandfather. And you okay? Well, I'll let you get yourself together. Um, but what I mean to say is, like, on the last few days of her life, she was like reaching out to them, talking to them. And my mom and I were sitting in the room, and of course, I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. And my mom was a nurse. So she was like, no, this is normal for patients. Like in the last days of their life, the last few, they start talking to their passed over loved ones. They're kind of greeting them and like making them comfortable that it's okay to go be with the Most High. And I just thought it was real interesting because it was like my mom and I were not in the room. She was just talking away to her husband, talking away to her son, reaching out to them, speaking, having conversations, and she was ignoring my mom and I as if we were not there. And it was like, hello, we're the people trying to say goodbye. But my grandma was way into her husband and son. And in a way, I was comforted by it because I was like, well, I mean, I'm glad she's not scared. I would think, if I were her, I would be wondering what was going to happen to me. But instead, she was already with her husband and son. It was wild. But I've seen it multiple times. And so, and of course, I've had my own experiences, but I've definitely seen other people that during their regular life, they never talked about spirit. But in those last days, yeah, I think that's interesting. Like my grandma would have never believed you if you said you saw spirit, but yet there she was. To her, they weren't spirit though. It was very real to her, as if they were us. That was the crazy part. And so I didn't know if you had ever seen anybody in hospice that happened to.
Not up close like that, no.
Yeah, that's when you really see the worlds blending. Um, I've had my own experiences where I had something similar happen. So I do definitely believe in spirit. Um, and I mean, I believe in it just like I believe in you and I. But that's because I've had a personal experience. It's like you said, if you haven't seen it, it's hard for you to. But I also tell people, we haven't seen the Most High, but we know He's real. So I
Excuse
just
me.
don't, I've never put anything spiritual because I always believed in the Most High. So I've always said, well, why not? I've always just been curious um, about anything otherworldly. What about you, Fire? Have you ever seen anything like that?